I would scroll so hard, I'd
it's-
probably scroll into another app.
And that's
another app. Let that sink in what I just fucking said.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Click or Scroll, the show where Eddie and I review social media ads and we let you know whether we would click or we would scroll on past.
So, first ad we got today, we got from City Bonfires. Looks like two dads, like my dad, like your dad, probably in the same age category, doing some pretty cool stuff with this product. So let's check it out and see what we think.
Hi, I'm Chris. This is Mike.
We're the two dads behind City Bonfires, the world's first personal and portable fire pit.
We've been next door neighbors and friends for years, but when the pandemic hit, both of us lost our jobs.
Stuck at home and without work, we wanted to make the best of our situation, and that meant spending some quality time with our families outside.
I wonder
But
if
we
it's
found
like
ourselves
made
more
or made
worried
by,
about
like,
keeping our kids away from the fire pit instead of enjoying
It's
it.
a fine line.
And that's when the idea came to us. Let's make a mini fire pit that's safer, portable, reusable, and even more fun.
So we got to work in our lab, well, Chris's garage actually, and created the first City Bonfire. We started using them at backyard barbecues, giving them out to friends and family. And before we knew it, we were on the Today Show, Good Morning America, CNBC, People Magazine, and the list goes on.
We've sold over 500,000 bonfires across the world to date. Whether it's for an outdoor adventure, beach trip, in your backyard, or for your emergency kit,
I
City
really
Bonfires
don't
got you
know.
covered.
I just
They're
can't
easy
find
to
the
light,
purpose.
non-toxic,
But that's
and
outside
food
of
safe.
the ad. Yeah.
We like to say BYOB. Whoops, wrong one. It stands for Bring Your Own Bonfire, wherever you go.
You know,
I like it.
I like these guys, you
I
know?
like these guys a lot.
I like them.
I like it.
They're funny.
I like Chris and
they
Mike.
seem very genuine, you know?
They do,
Like
they
they
do.
seem just like some dads. The ad is pretty well done. Like I'd say like they did a good job
I
of
love the
keeping
ad.
the attention.
I think it is too long though. It's funny at the beginning. I like it a lot, and I like the text and how it's popping up, and Mike and Chris and and all these things. The creativity on this is a 10 for me. Very good script writing. I love everything that they did. I just don't know what the use case of the ad of the product actually is. The only use case I've seen is roasting a marshmallow, and outside of that, one, they heated a pot, but they picked the biggest pot ever. And if I filled that thing with water, I bet you it would take way too long.
It would take a
for
while to like boil or do
way
anything really.
too long on this.
Yeah,
flame.
maybe to keep something hot. But I think maybe this is almost kind of like similar to like the type of thing of like a tiki torch, right? Like what is really the purpose of a tiki torch? Just to provide like some ambiance and like a cool little like, oh, that's cool. This flame is happening in the background of us hanging out.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
But had they demonstrated that,
Yeah.
I would understand that as a use case, and I would probably buy 10 for my backyard on nights.
Yeah,
where we're all
I think again it's like city bonfire, so it's like if you have like an apartment or something, you probably aren't even allowed to have like a fire. So it's like if you're just really wanting to have that environment of like us sitting around the fire, but you want something safe, like the kids thing. I think they showed that pretty good when they were like building the regular fire, and then the kid was running towards it and he grabs the kid. But yeah, like I don't necessarily know if this ad really sells the use case too much. I felt like the only real use case was just people hanging out and like the s'mores over it, but maybe that is the use case, maybe that's it.
A little pro tip advice outside of the creative of the ad, on the actual content of text. What happens is a lot of people, they'll build the ad on Facebook through the Facebook ads manager, and then at the end they'll say, get your portable fire pit now with a finger pointing down and then a link. The problem is when you're running automatic placements on social media ads, it's gonna show up on Instagram, it's gonna show up on all these random spots, and at the end of it, it's gonna say this link, but there's no way for them to actually click the link, and it just looks kind of like
Amateur.
You're
not speaking the language of the platform. People that are in Instagram know that the only way to link things is to put it in your bio, or now they have the sticker for links in stories that anyone can use.
Overall, I give this ad an 8. Quality's there, the cleverness is there, the fun and friendliness is there. The shots are nice, the words are nice on it. I just didn't like the product personally. I just didn't see enough use cases. I think if they showed me a few different ways that I could possibly use the product, I think I would be a lot more interested in maybe pushing this to like a 9.
I kind of agree. I think a 6 is pretty fitting for this. And that might seem kind of harsh, but again, it's like we're in a world of no 7. 7 is a cop out, and I don't think I can go up to an 8 just because I've given 8s to ads that are definitely more mind blowing than this. So, but honestly, good ad. I like these guys. I like I agree. I think if they could show more product use case, could probably bump it up a little bit. But overall, pretty solid.
Chris, Mike, if you see this shit, hit us up. I like you guys.
All right, so this one is from J plus Sharon. I don't really know what this ad is yet, but I think it might be an influencer ad that's being ran from the influencer's account.
Life as a professional pickpocket has its benefits. Like I always know when someone else is trying to pickpocket me. Take for example this amateur behind me. With my wallet, the worst he can do is steal my identity. But once he sees how bad my credit is, he'll just give it back. Good boy. Apparently, he felt so bad for me that he told me about this sexy debit card called Extra. It's a debit card that builds credit and earns reward points without needing credit checks. And turns out he wasn't kidding. The Extra debit card really works. I stole his identity, and his credit score is great. Extra, the first debit card that builds.
That's good.
I like it a lot. I think it's comical. I think it's definitely like something that you would watch. The cuts aren't like too long on one spot. They have some pretty good animations. I just think it's clever overall for the kind of ad that they are trying to deliver. I think they did a good job, and I think the voiceover was good, and I think the concept is good. From a social media standpoint, I would probably give this ad an 8, honestly. Again,
I'm kind of with you. It kept my attention the whole time. There was a level of suspense. Like it felt like there was a payoff coming, and I didn't know what it was, and it did feel like an ad, but I was waiting to see what the ad was. That's actually something that is kind of a next level marketing like tool, is to let people know that it's an ad, but they're almost watching to find out what you're advertising.
Exactly.
Like sometimes you're like, I think this is a car commercial, but I don't know what car they're about to sell me.
Exactly.
Or like, I thought this was about to be about insurance, but really it's about like something completely else.
Honestly, something that's good from a marketing strategy standpoint here. I've been preaching this for a few years, but something you can do is like white label through other influencers' accounts.
Exactly.
So like, had this credit card company seen the success of this ad, I would have just like paid them a % of ad spend, gotten access to their page, and just ran ads from their page. And J plus Sharon would make a lot of money, and so would the credit card company itself. So pretty cool strategy just to build trust with the consumer rather than just running ads from your own pages. I think it's very effective. It's worked well.
And I would assume that this couple is probably pretty, has a pretty tight community. Like a lot of these kind of couples channels and pages on Instagram and things, they have people that are following pretty much everything they do. And, even the comments on this post are like, best ad I've ever seen, TBH, top tier content in a credit card commercial, goat of ads. I hope you charge at least 6 figures for it. So like this type of ad would never fly on TV, but it's perfect for Instagram, perfect for social media. Another thing they did great was they had clever captions. The captions are short enough of lines that you're still wanting to read them. Even while we're watching with the sound off, I'm still reading and watching the commercial again. Whereas the City Bonfires commercial we just watched did not have captions on it. And that was also a mistake that I didn't mention on that last one. All right, so this next one is from Speechify app. And I've seen this commercial a couple times, but I don't know if I've ever watched it all the way through, to be completely honest.
I've never seen it.
Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Cliff, founder of Speechify. What is Speechify? Well, you give us stuff you need to read, and we read it to you. Instantly. Yeah, instantly. Are the voices any good? No. Our voices are great. Take a picture of a book, it reads. Upload a PDF, it reads. Open a website, it reads.
Speechify text-to-speech is a mobile and desktop app that allows...
Half of Stanford
That voice
already
wasn't
used this
amazing.
trick. That's how they read
That was a
300
robot
pages
voice.
a
Definitely
week
wasn't
and still
fucking
have time
great.
to party.
No.
And do you like reading stuff and not remembering the details? Studies show you double your attention by using both your eyes and your ears at the same time.
That is true.
The psychology of dressing well and why you must to get anywhere in life.
So stop procrastinating every day and start deciding what you're gonna do with all those hours I'm saving you.
I like what they were trying to do.
Trying.
But it fell flat for me.
How many
It
times do you
fell
think he shot
flat.
the shot in the water? Because his suit is soaked before he...
One thing that annoyed me about this ad was, like, he was definitely really charismatic, but I didn't buy it for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was just the way the script was. Maybe it was just like the example that they gave of the reading the Wikipedia page. Like that wasn't that cool, and it just feels like a lower tier version of the type of ad they're trying to do. Another thing that annoys me is they're putting it in square and then the ad is in
I was waiting for you.
Is in wide, so it just I'm already watching it smaller.
You're already below a 7 to me.
And what they could have done is like, remember when we watched the culprit underwear ad and they kept like moving the screen like side to side and things like that? That was actually because we found the full YouTube version and it was in wide. But for social media, they were cropping and moving the frame side to side. So like actually they should have been doing that type of stuff here, because chances are in a lot of these shots, the action's happening on one area of the screen where they could have cropped in. The other thing that's weird to me is the captions are like very like shitty looking. Like they're kind of just like the most default looking captions you could ever do. And sometimes they even like spoil the jokes that he's saying, because they go on the screen and I'm reading it.
2 lines of captions.
Yeah, like I'm reading it faster than he's saying it. So when he said, our voices aren't good, they're fucking great. I already knew the joke was coming because it was on the screen before he really said it. So it was like, it kind of ruined his own joke. It was definitely weird, and that's why I like captions to be like short lines and like less at a time, so that it doesn't give people the ability to like read ahead.
Pro tip for shooting, when you shoot a scene that's gonna ruin something like your clothes, shoot it last, don't shoot it first. He shot it first, and throughout the entire thing, his clothes were like really just shitty the whole time. Also, one of the main things I would love to have seen is the clear objection of why the fuck I would do this instead of like using Audible. Who's gonna take a photo of every page of their textbook? It's just like so time consuming.
I think you can upload a PDF, but like,
I don't know. I just feel like they should have thought of better use cases. If he is targeting readers and things like that, I think a less comical pool approach would probably work better than this. Like this, comical, cool, great. It's great for a specific demographic. Like people who want to buy fucking men's underwear and shit like that, right? I'm gonna go ahead and just give this ad a 3. Main things that take away from it are how dog shit it is, number 1, and 2, the sizing of the ad.
Yeah, the execution was bad, but A for effort. I mean, I want to give it a 4, but I'm also kind of like, I don't even know why it deserves more than a 3. Like it feels like a lot of this was kind of like one take. It looks like they filmed this in like 3 hours, you know? Yeah. So like, honestly, I kind of want to give it a 3 as well. I don't even want to go up to a 4. I don't love the ad.
Not a bad ad, and it must have performed decently well to have 4 million views. So they must be getting some sort of return on it at the end of the day. But what's to say that like a better ad wouldn't have done a lot better than this? So unfortunately, this was the worst ad of the show, and I'm gonna fucking scroll. I would scroll so hard, I'd probably scroll into another app.
And that's what I was saying earlier. I've seen the ad.
Another app. Let that sink in what I just fucking said. I would scroll so fucking hard on Instagram, I would somehow end up on
would
YouTube.
Leave Instagram.
I would end up on YouTube. That's how
I've had some ads where I leave the app before. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out.
I think that's it for today.
At least for this. I'm out. Enough Instagram for today.
I hope you guys enjoyed that episode.
Make sure you send us some ads if you want them on the show. And I think we should probably do some TikTok ads coming up. That would be fun. That would be super fun.
We're getting pretty heavy into TikTok ads now. So if you do have some TikTok ads, which I know your fucking ass is on TikTok, because the average consumer spends what, 24 hours a month?
It's 26 hours a month. The average TikTok user is spending 26 hours a month on the platform.
And I know you're a fucking TikTok user, and I can just feel you scratching right now to open TikTok instead of finishing this video. But guess what? You're gonna finish the fucking video all the way to the fucking end. You understand me?